What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since I last put up a video, and there's a good reason for that. I've now got myself a job. So, previously I was self-employed. I made iPhone apps and games and stuff myself. So basically I had a lot of free time to kind of do other stuff as well. I'm now full-time employed, and I've moved through to Edinburgh as well. So I've now got less time to do this, and hopefully it doesn't really affect it, but so far it kind of has. I've still not got myself a desk set up around a kitchen table here. It's an absolute monstrosity, this setup. Just realised as well this room actually has quite a lot of echo in it. Yeah, not really the best setup, to be quite honest. But we're gonna persevere. We're gonna get through it, and we're gonna try and do another video and see how we go on with it. It's probably not gonna be too long a video, but yeah, I felt it was necessary to do something and necessary to update you as to why there hasn't been a video in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, we're back. We're into well, I don't really know what's happened, to be honest. I can't even remember what happened at the end of the game. What I did notice though is we have no money again. Typical. Our trade is an absolute joke. Yeah, I just remembered what happened. The bloody French happened. That's what happened. Bloody French. Decided that they're going to come and attack us again, which is just absolutely wonderful. So we're going to have to try and deal with this. I'm not really sure how we're going to deal with this. We also, they have blockaded Waterford, our main port. So that is basically useless to us at the moment, and which is causing us to have no money. So we may... There's that French fleet there as well. We may just have to send these lads back up to engage. We also have another fleet here, which should help the situation. I'm hoping these two fleets together should be enough to see off. Right, okay, well that's not really gone to plan. I was hoping to kind of do this together. Right, you can call that cheating. I call that a tactical reload, and we shall try this again. Hopefully this time without putting ourselves in a position where we're just going to lose pretty much immediately. I've done it again. This is not acceptable. This is not even slightly acceptable. Tactical reload number 2. Right. We shall try this again, and we shall position them outside the red circle this time. And we shall merge our fleets. Right. I think that's the best we've got, ship-wise. I'm not sure why we can only have that many ships and not fill it up, but anyway. We shall try to attack them. It's a 50-50 battle. I really don't want to put myself through a naval battle. I've done it in the past and it was just not fun. So we shall try this, auto-resolve it. We did lose, right, okay. We do still have some remaining, but they have basically, because they captured 2 of ours, they've now got 9. So that has just failed spectacularly. It wouldn't have been so bad had they not captured our ships as well in the process. So they now have not only the ships that they had left, they now have 2 of ours as well, meaning we have absolutely no chance to take them on again. Right, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I really don't know how this is going to play out. Although on the upside, losing all of those ships has put our navy upkeep down quite significantly. Right, I'm now absolutely taxing the shit out of everybody that we own. So we now have at least the ability to make money still. But I really don't know how this is going to go. The French are a big issue at the moment. Right. It has cost us a territory. We lost Milan. But I think in the greater scheme of things, that was probably the best option there was. Because, as it stands, we were making, like, I think 3,000. And that was from the fact that we were literally taxing everybody to the point of which they were probably going to revolt in absolute anarchy all around the world. So on one hand, we would have made money, so we wouldn't have gone bankrupt, but everybody would have rebelled. Or we keep everybody happy, but then we go bankrupt. So I think keeping France in line at the moment is probably the best option. Just keep them at peace. Even if it did cost us Milan, it's really not a big loss. But the problem we now face is France is probably going to do that again. Because, I mean, I would. So, like, I'd really expect France to just try and take us on again in, like, a turn, like, maybe not a turn, but in a few turns' time, a few years' time, they might try and take us on yet again. It would be really nice if the Austrians could go and take them out for us. But they don't seem to be all that bothered about going down and trying to take Turin or Milan. They're just quite happy to sit there with their armies all positioned around our cities and none going down towards the French, which I think is their only main enemy at this moment in time. Possibly the Ottomans as well. But, yeah, I'm not really sure. The thing is we've now got nobody at war, really. We actually managed to get a peace agreement with the Marathas and with the Ottomans last week. So, in an attempt to kind of focus ourselves at France, but that's not really needed anymore because we're not at war with France anymore. So, yeah, we now only have our only main enemy is really Quebec, which we will continue pushing our way up to try and take over Montreal and Quebec itself. So hopefully that goes well, given that that's our only focus really at this moment in time. But I think what I'll do is I will just stop attacking people. And if they attack us, then that's fine. We are going to have to deal with that. But at the moment, I'm not in the mood to kind of attack anybody. I'm kind of just wanting to just sort of level things off and let our economy kind of recover itself a little bit. And I think once this number gets up into like sort of like 5 or 6 digits, then I think we could probably be quite happy. But as it stands, it just takes one enemy to blockade Waterford and we are in a big problem. So I think for now we're okay, but it's just we're going to have to pay attention to what's going on. Right, so the Marathas have really changed their tone. They're now wanting a trade agreement. They're offering technology, but they do want... and I was actually informed last week by Benjamin, I think it was, that I was pronouncing this wrong. I was pronouncing it Joa. It's actually Goa. So, yeah, they want Goa, which I'm kind of in the mood to give them, to be honest, because they're quite a wealthy country. So I think if we could get ourselves a trade agreement with them, even if it costs us Goa, which is not a big territory to lose, it's possibly a pretty decent idea because then we'll make even more money. And in the future, when we've got absolutely tons of money in the bank and we go back to war with them, then I don't think it's going to be a big challenge to try and take that back off them anyway. So I think it's probably the best move at the time being. So, yeah, you can clear off. He's back. Bloody Eckhard. Back again was 160 men trying to take on 1,000. Of course it was going to end badly. Anyway, that's him dead eventually. It's taken long enough. And the rebels have come... We should win this. We should win this, and we do win it good, right. So, they'd cost us quite a few men, but, most of them are gone, and we do have an army. The one that was in Goa is now inside that territory, so I'll stick them in Hyderabad. Right, where are they? Yeah, these guys down here, who were in Goa, they're now in the Hyderabad territory, so we'll stick them in there, and that should just kind of reinforce this the city. I mean, these guys are never going to stand any chance of taking it off us. Right, I'm bringing these guys down here because we have got ourselves an Italian rebel army. It's popped up in South Italy. I'm not really sure why. I mean, public order is not bad, so I'm not really sure what their gripe is. But they've decided that they're just going to come along here and rebel a little bit. So we'll bring our army back down. We'll try and fill up Naples as well, just to make sure that any any attack doesn't succeed. I think if they do attack us, they'll probably win, but with this army coming down from the north, then it's not going to be long before we take it straight back from them. Right, we shall start rebuilding our navy. So if and when France do eventually attack us again, we actually have a fleet capable of killing them all. So yeah, it's going to take us quite a long time, I think, to build a navy capable. But I think it's definitely going to be worth it in the long shot, because the long run even, should I say. Because when these French do come back, they have such a large naval power, it's going to be challenging to stop them blockading Waterford. And I don't want to just keep trading territories for, like, temporary peace agreements, because that's never going to work out in the long run. Right, this army that I was going to use to take over Texas, but I realised quite quickly that Texas is a completely different animal than really wants to be poked at the moment. We shall just send them up north, and now with our military access we could just walk through Maine and straight into Quebec and see if we could take it. So we'll try that. We'll also, if the frame rate would actually play the game, we'll also head north. Now the biggest problem here, if you can see, is that's how far we can go this direction, but when we're going this way it's like a quarter of that distance because there are no roads here. I think there's roads here. This territory, I think, does have roads, but none down here. So yeah, 2 turns to Montreal. We'll try and get there without getting attacked by anybody else. Hopefully there's no armies in between us and there. I think it should be a pretty easy place to take. I think Quebec's going to be the biggest challenge, but I think if we can get to Montreal in the next couple of turns, we should hopefully be able to take it. Brilliant. I can't go more than like a couple of turns without somebody declaring war on me at the moment. So Gran Colombia, who we were at war with before, after we took out Spain, I believe it was, Gran Colombia rocked up and were like, right, we're going to declare war on you. Problem with Gran Colombia, no roads, absolutely no roads. So it takes about 45 years to actually get to them. And in the meantime, they have a pretty decent fleet, just floating around the place, blockading all of our ports. So yeah, they're a trade partner with us, and now they're going to war. What's your problem, Maximino the First? Why would you put the first if you're the first? There's no reason to have that there. You are the first. Everybody knows that. If you were the second, maybe put that there. The first doesn't need that. Just right. Anyway, we shall call our allies. I'm hoping that neither of them join, but we'll see what happens. Right, neither of them did join, and Austria and Russia both joined us. So Gran Colombia, enjoy your time being at war with Scotland, Austria, and Russia. I don't think it's going to be very long before... I mean, you probably will be quite a while. I think they just want Panama. Russia and Austria are probably not going to do anything about them, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, they'll probably try and take... See, they've already blockaded a port, 2 ports. Make that 3 ports. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now we've lost Nipples as well, so, yep, brilliant. Yep. To be expected. We will take it back pretty much immediately, I'm hoping. These guys are coming back, but we now have 1,500 men inside Hyderabad, so they can clear off to death. Gone. Get rid of them. Right, good. And still more rebels walking around Turkey. It's just rebels. Just rebels everywhere. See, they now have a full army because they've recruited all of the locals into their army, but we shall just try and take this back immediately. It's pretty much in our favour. They do have... It's actually pretty close in terms of the numbers, but Armando Amoroso doesn't really have the men to, like, the actual expertise. They're all just, like, militia, like... random people who've been given a gun and told to fight. So it should be a one-sided battle. And it is. We murdered all of them. All 2,010 of them, and we only lost 803. I don't think it's the most convincing win we've had. I think we've had much bigger wins than that in the past, but that's still pretty good going. So yeah, it's like 1.5 men, 2.5 men they lost for every one we lost, so that worked out pretty well. And we've taken nipples back immediately. They didn't even have time to make their beds. They were just in and out. Right, back to the United States. So we where's our fleet that we had coming up here? We shall bring them up to here. I think the best place to go for them. I think we could probably just get off here and just walk straight through. It's probably the best option. Right, our other army. Good God, this frame rate. Right, keep heading up towards Montreal. We have some men inside Detroit now, so hopefully that should keep public order. It's not too bad. It could be worse. How's our trade at? Oh, I just clicked the wrong button. Oh well. Alright. Saves me having to worry about you, because you never know what they might try. They want an alliance for 1,000. No. They're probably just going to pull me into some war that I don't want to be in, so it's not really worth it. Alright, well that's news to me. Apparently we've broken our alliance with the United States. I don't even remember getting an alliance with the United States. I mean, maybe I'm just being an absolute moron here, but that doesn't seem like it happened very long ago. If it did, so I'm not really sure when we got an alliance with them, but for some reason it's broken. Right, anyway, we shall attack Montreal. There are actually a lot more men in Montreal than I expected. How's this looking? Not too good. Right, we shall retreat and hopefully pull them out. If this army comes, then we have a good chance of beating them on their own, and then that army could be beaten as well. That is a lot more men than I thought would be there, though, so we're just going to have to... We have military access. What are you on it? Bloody Americans. Just as I'm wanting the military access that we got like 2 turns ago, they decide, nah, you know what? Didn't fancy it. Just didn't fancy it anymore. So we have lost our... Oh, yeah, brilliant. Just wait. So they just up and cancel our military access, but then keep the military access they have into our country. I don't think so. I can get done. Arseholes. Right. So we're going to have to go the long way round. I think best option is just attack Fort Nashwack. Why are you going up there? Oh my god, right, fine, whatever. We'll attack Fort Nashwack, hopefully take that, and that should only leave Montreal with these 2 places that are really of any use. So yeah, we'll try and pincer them in a little bit. Meanwhile, down here, Grand Bloody Columbia have ransacked like every single one of my ports. See, they're sitting inside Jamaica, they're sitting inside Santo Domingo. That was an awful way of saying that. Santo Domingo. This place. And they're also sitting inside the Bahamas. So, yeah. Not too keen on that. Once this fleet drops off its men... I mean, even if it drops off its men, it's not got that many ships. It's kind of useless. I'm not really sure what to do. I think we're probably going to have to try and build some ships, but I don't know which port is the best option to build them from. Right, this looks like the best place. So we shall build these ships. It's going to take 3 turns, but I'm hoping that those ships are capable of taking out anything. This is that fleet. This is that Grand Colombian fleet that's been sitting there blockading that port since... Oh, God only knows. We had an army sitting inside here at one stage, and this Grand Colombian fleet blockaded this port. And it was like some great escape. We managed to get our men off the island and take them away and get away from them. But they're still there, and they're still just sitting, and they've actually blockaded the port again. So, yeah, not too happy with these Grand Colombians. And this is what I was saying as well, how long it takes to go from here to here, down to Bogota, to actually take them over is a joke. Like, look how far. That's 1 turn gets you here. It literally takes about 4 turns, 5 turns just to get down to here. But we shall make our way. Ah, they're coming. Right, okay. I think I might just head back into Panama and try and hold Panama from these guys. Just don't really see the point in fighting them in the middle of the open. The last time I fought anybody down here, it went badly, so I'm hoping that if we sit inside the city, it gives us a better advantage of trying to beat them. But yeah, I think I might call that a week, to be honest. Not much has happened, but I wasn't really expecting to do too much this week. Yeah, we have declared peace with a few folk and declared war with a couple others. So we lost Milan to the French in a trade for peace, because otherwise we were going to go bankrupt, and it was horrible. And yeah, this was probably the best option. We did lose Naples, but we took it back immediately. We are building another fleet, which will be ready in a turn, I think. Well, I say fleet, it's 2 ships. We will continue building more as well, but so far we can only build 2 at a time. So we'll add a couple more on to build in the next turn. And hopefully we can kind of position them in Waterford and just make sure that Waterford's completely secure, so we don't have the issues that we've been having recently of trade getting completely done. I mean, look at it. Look at it. 23,000 coins of our trade comes through that one port. And we only make... Well, apparently we make 19,000 coins per turn, so how 23 of them are coming through that one port, I have no idea. But that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We're actually got more money coming into the port than we're actually making out of it. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to have to try and make sure that that doesn't happen again. I mean, it probably will. It seems like every nation knows that that's our weakness, that if they take Waterford, then we're basically completely done in, and they seem to focus on that every single time. It doesn't matter who our enemy's with, they always make their way all the way up here and just take over Waterford, because it completely cripples us. As for India, we did lose Goa, but we've held on to Hyderabad from the rebels that were there, and we no longer are at war with these Marathas, so it's not that big an issue. So we're just going to try and maintain what we've got, repair stuff, keep public order in a good position, and yeah, just build ourselves in this location so that the people aren't in a bad mood with us, and that we can then sort of branch off and take other places, eventually go back to war with the Marathas. But so at the moment, just trying to make some money. So yeah, I think it's all going kind of to plan so far. I think once we take out Quebec, we don't really have much in the way of enemies, so we're probably going to have to look at somebody else. Gran Colombia is a bit of annoyance at the moment, so we might just put our entire focus on getting rid of them. They do have a fleet, like a navy, that's way bigger than you would probably expect. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week. So if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys hopefully next week. I think I should have my desk in a couple of weeks, so next week will still be a bit of a sort of put together job, but I'm hoping that we can make it work for the time being. And yeah, I'll catch you guys then. So until then, cheerio.